All right, Ron. So this is the part of the show you have no privy to the questions beforehand. It's just Andrew and I. Kim doesn't even know, so she gets just as wowed as you do here. First thing that comes to mind, we could always come back and elaborate on an answer later. But we're just going to show you some questions, and let's see. Let's have a little fun with this. All right.
Okay.
So the first one is: would you rather speak every language in the world or be able to speak to animals?
Animals.
Okay.
That was quick. All right. So Mount Rainier or Mount Hood?
Mount Hood.
Dawn or dusk?
Dusk.
What is one thing that you own that you wish you didn't?
I don't know. I don't know. I seem to like the things I buy. Good answer.
Stumped them right there. There's the stump. All right. Favorite baseball movie?
Bull Durham.
It's classic. Nice. What's the last spontaneous thing you've done or that you did?
Spontaneous. I joined a pickleball tournament. That was pretty spontaneous.
That's awesome.
What's the fastest you've ever driven in a car?
You don't want to know. I have so many speeding tickets. It's unreal. I don't even want to put that out there because my wife may listen to this.
Fair enough.
All right. I'm gonna test some baseball knowledge on you, Ron. Okay.
All right.
So this famous actor once owned the Portland Mavericks independent baseball team, and his son also played as well.
Was it Kurt Russell?
Yeah. Who was his dad? His dad owned the team. Bing.
Yeah. I watched the documentary on that one.
That's a great documentary.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So last week I kind of threw a weird question at our guest and tried to get him to name the Spice Girls. I'm not going to have you name the Spice Girls, but can you name the Seven Dwarfs?
No, there's no way. My kids watched it ad nauseum, and my wife could do it in her sleep. But there's certain things I do not waste my megabytes on, and that's the kind of stuff. I have like a 256 hard drive. Kids nowadays have like a 10 terabyte. You got to preserve what little space you have left.
That was a well done response. Well response.
All right. Ready for this one?
Okay.
So what do you look forward to the most after COVID restrictions are lifted?
My children are all moved out now, and my wife and we're loving life, and we've got a lot of plans. And but I think I'd just like to take her out for a movie and dinner because she's the best. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Great answer.
Yeah. So that's all we got. I could probably throw another one in there, but I think we're good.
Well, I hope now that your wife listens to this, so I think you just redeemed yourself if she does listen to and ask you how many speeding tickets. Hey, honey, remember, as soon as COVID's over, it's date night. I'm going to take her somewhere special.
Yeah, she knows how many speeding tickets because she's been with me for 26 years, so she knows. But I've tapered off. But back in high school and college, back then there wasn't the penalty there is now, and I like to go fast, and that's not a good thing. So you got to get slow vehicles. That's what helps me. Yeah,
or then just call an Uber when you get rid of your own vehicle and just get Uber.
Yeah. Well, now I'm on a bike. You can only go so fast on a bicycle, so that's the best.
Wow.
And I know all show you said you didn't really want to do a commercial, but you did a nice little plug for I can't wait to take my wife out for dinner and a movie. That just scored you some points right there with that
plug. Is this the point where I get to say thanks to a few people?
Yeah, please. We're about to wrap it up, so I want you to be able to say anything that you want to say.
Okay, well, I want to share something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is, I've been listening to all of your presenters, all the people you've had on, with the exception of one. I haven't caught up yet, but I listened to them at 1.5 speed, and I got to tell you, Kurt Hinson on 1.5 speed is a treat. That's the best. But anyways, I know that there's a lot of people in our industry that talk about it's relationships, and I don't disagree at all. I agree 100%. But I also don't want to, I don't want to say that we have to understand that we're based on content. We're not physical activity specialists. We're physical education specialists. And that's where our bread and butter is. So to me, it's about the relationships. Without relationships, you can't teach anything. But what do we teach? So I listened to Kim last week, and I love her statement of I teach kids. And she got that from the other gentleman. And I think that's beautiful. And I want to take that on, but I also teach fitness, health, and nutrition. I teach movement concepts. I teach sportsmanship. I teach skill building. I teach all those things because together, that's what makes us quality physical education. And I think we have to continue to push that emphasis, because it's one thing to go into the classroom and teach them how to teach movement and tie that into their content, which is cool. But that's not taking away from what we do in physical education. That's just bringing it up to another level. So I wanted to say that. I also want to thank you three, obviously. I've known you well before the podcast. I met you years and years ago. You're always awesome to see at conferences and have conversations with. And of course, whether it's texting or Twitter or whatever it is, I love having it. Keith, your dry sense of humor gets me every time. So I love it because, it's always that part of me that's like, is he being serious or is he joking? But I know you're joking. So it's all good. I also want to thank Vanessa Wiggin at the Virginia Department of Education, Sheila Jones from Virginia Beach, formerly of Loudon. I want to thank the CMO cadre. I work with a cadre of 40 PE teachers in Virginia to push into school classroom settings to teach about academic accelerators and brain and body boosts, and they're amazing people. I want to thank Doug Hallberg up in New York. He's one of my best PE friends, and he's the most solid guy I've ever met. I want to thank John Crucy in LA, who is a scientific just genius. I want to thank Pat Thompson. There's so many people in physical education that are just pushing to get us to be on the same level or higher than every other subject. And you three are part of that group. And I just want to thank you for that, because without you, I worry sometimes, are we all going to just say, hey, as long as we're keeping kids busy, happy, good, we're there. I'm not saying we're going to, but it does scare me, because we're so much more than just movement. And it's the two together, the movement and the content, to me, that matters. So anyways, I know I said a lot. If you play me at 1.5, it's gonna be tough to hear, but I appreciate you guys and what you're allowing me to do.
That was an amazing soundbite. And when you brought up a lot of those people's names, it's amazing. One, it's a very noble and humble group of people, but it's amazing that the people that you were listing off on how many people I know as well in this big global health and PE community, but we're really a small group that when you start naming some names of people who've done some forward thinking and advanced our profession, I've worked the same with those people. Vanessa, I mean, my goodness, I met her early on in the Health and Physical Activity Institute when I think it was my second or third year of teaching. And I went to, and this is before I was at James Madison University. I forget where it was. Maybe it was there. I forget, but I just remember going there, and that's where she introduced me to, at the time, Jean Blades, and then now she's Jean Blades Moisey. And, the people that you listed, Sheila Jones, she helped me with just going through the pandemic and being a coordinator of similar situations that we were facing. Pat Thompson as well. It's, there are so many great people, but it's so funny how big the world is and how small and connected we are. Mm-hmm. It's so important. And I know that, like, we always say that we're better together. Mm-hmm. We're never going to say like we are the expert in all this. It's just that we have a cadre and a network of really good people that are put their egos aside. Yeah. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of space for quality health and PE for people to join in this mission. It's never filled up. So I appreciate you mentioning those names. And you just had me thinking about how important those people are to me as well.
And there's too many people to list. And I know I failed on some level to mention someone else, but I'd be remiss to say that I would have never done this without my business partner, Karen Cowan. And I want her to be the last name I say, because she's the most important person to this journey. So if she hears this, I hope she knows how important she's been.
We'll make sure we put in a little soundbite for you.
Okay.
So Ron, thank you so much. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Keith, did you have any last remarks? It looked like you did.
I did, because there's one thing Ron said earlier, and I don't know if the two of you caught this, but Ron said he did a poem. So I didn't know he was a poet as well as a PE teacher. You know, he taught muscles through poetry. So that's pretty good there.
Well, he spoke a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know that he was a poet. You know, I never knew Ron the poet. I knew Ron the PE teacher, baseball guy, Focus Fitness, and we can go talk these. But now, I mean, I'm going to have to break out some poetry the next time we see him at the.
Anything that's sticky, you got to figure out what sticks, right, Keith?
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
A whole presentation on sticky learning.
Oh, well, that's another day.
Well, with sticky stuff, it was whatever I can put on the baseball when I was pitching.
Yeah, or your cheese pizza, because I'm sure you eat cheese. So
Absolutely.
All right, Ron. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for being here. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
Bye. Bye.